Hey guys and gals, in this video we're going to be covering our defense against a slash and a backswing here with a knife. Now if you've done any other knife defense videos, you'll know that you've got to have your hands in this guarded position. In this particular case, maybe he kind of surprises me. So Mr. Zahner's got his knife hidden somewhere, I don't know where it's at. He comes at me and I realize that he's bringing a knife and he swings at me and he's going to slash toward my chest, okay? Maybe he's slashing toward my chest, maybe it's toward my neck, whatever it is. He does this initial slash and I'm moving back, trying to get out of the way. Now, if I continue to just go backwards, he can catch up with me with his second cut here, and now I'm in real trouble, and I don't want to be in real trouble. I want to be able to deal with this. So he comes in with his first slash. I'm going to move back, get that guarded position, and then immediately I'm going to start crashing forward and capture this arm. Now what I'm doing is I'm hooking over his wrist here. I'm not necessarily grabbing with the thumb. I'm hooking over the wrist, and I'm stopping his arm here. If I do that with enough force, I can do a pretty good amount of damage here, but that's not my goal. What I actually want to do is use this arm as a lever to control his whole body. Now, if you think about it, mass moves mass. So if I'm going to use just my arms to control his whole body, it's not going to work, right? There's not enough mass to move his mass. So what I want to do is use my whole body to control his whole body. So I'm going to use a big circular step. I'm going to crash back in, boom, knock him off of his balance a little bit, and then I'm going to use a big circular step, almost like I'm trying to step way over there to that corner of the room, and I'm going to push here and pull here with this leverage that I have to effect the takedown. So, let me do that again. He goes for the slash, I immediately move back and then crash in. If you wait, it's too late. I want you to keep that in your head. If you wait, it's too late. Because if I wait and I'm like, I think I'm going to do this, and I come back in, well, that's not good, okay? So instead, I've got to make sure that I come in, boom, immediately after I move, and then here's the throw. From here, I can stomp on the head, break the wrist, all sorts of cool stuff that I'm going to do. So, let's do the other side so they can see a little bit better, Mr. Zahner. So whenever Mr. Zahner comes in with this first one, I'm going to be moving back into my cat stance here. This allows me to load up this back leg and really launch forward for that second attack. My hands are covering my core. I'm not looking to grab a wrist. If you're aiming for the wrist, you will miss, okay? The wrist is a very small target and it's moving very quickly. I'm not trying to catch. What I'm trying to do is take my forearms and put them against the back of his arm. Boom. Then from here, I can grab and push. I'm not grabbing first. If I try to grab, I'm going to either lose my thumb, okay, or I'm going to miss entirely, and then I'm in real trouble. So use your forearms to crash in and then hook. Then I want to push just above his elbow, about halfway between his elbow and his shoulder joint here, and I'm really kind of rolling on that tricep there, which is very uncomfortable, isn't it, Mr. Zahner? From here, I'm grabbing this and I'm pulling it back to me. I want to keep it pretty close to my body because it allows me more leverage. Just like whenever we do our punches and we practice pulling back to the hip, that motion is happening right here. In this particular case, as I'm pulling back to the hip, what I'm actually doing is making his hand go with me as I'm stepping around in that circle. Now you may find that if they have lots of forethought into this, you get to here and they pull back on you, which is just fine because from there we can do all sorts of other stuff that we already know how to do. So, one more time, he comes in, I move back, crash in, step around. Now that we get to here, now I've got options, okay? Mr. Zahner, I'm going to have you move right over here. It's still here. So, I've got options. Now maybe he didn't fall all the way, he didn't do his little spinning thing, okay? Especially if we're on gravel or something like that, he's going to have a lot more grip on the ground. From here, I need to control this, and I need to keep him from grabbing it with the other hand. So, I am going to crash down into my lovely side control. I'm going to drop a knee, I'm going to push this hand back, I'm going to slide into my side control and collapse my body weight on him, and now I've got my Americana, okay, or my paintbrush lock. It's very uncomfortable for him, even if I don't know either one of those locks. If I can just get down here and bury my head in here, it's really difficult for him to grab the knife with the other hand. Go ahead and try to grab it with the other hand. Even if he sneaks that out, I can just hold this down here, right? It doesn't really matter. I can start throwing some elbows in here, right? I can throw some knees in here. pull up my phone, call 911. Probably not a good idea at this position. But right now, I'm in a much better place of control. If all I can remember to do is get this to here and keep it away from that other hand, I've done a lot of good work here. One quick way to get rid of this is simply fold the wrist, and now you have the weapon and you can get rid of it. One more time. I've got it down on the floor. Oh, sorry, on the floor. I've got it down on the floor. Whether he's facing me or facing away from me, it doesn't really matter. If he's facing away from me or I've spun him completely around and he's here, I can still drop, knee on belly, collapse the arm to the ground, drop into my side control. From here, I really like this position because I can put my leg on top of it. It makes it really difficult for him to deal with here, okay? But if I end up on the other side, I'm here, I've collapsed him here on the ground. I'm gonna drop the knee on, shove his hand as far away from his other hand as possible, drop down here so that he can't do a lot with it. If you're gonna practice this one, don't practice it with somebody who has tennis elbow. They will not like you. Make sure that anybody you're practicing this with is used to falling, and practice on a safe floor environment. You can do this on carpet. I don't recommend it on concrete. It does not feel great, but you need to practice with somebody who has a little bit of experience taking falls. All right, guys, keep training, keep growing. We'll see you in the next video.